Hey viewers, it's Scott, and today we're doing a US Border Patrol loadout for Military Monday. Keep in mind, this is not the most common loadout. I already did one very similar, and I'm using a weapon that they have access to, but don't necessarily use all the time. Okay, the first part of this loadout is the FN Scar-H, also known as the MK16. This is one of the most common assault rifles in militaries worldwide. Scar-H should be equipped with the Holocite, a vertical grip, and a stock. For your secondary, you should go with a 45T, which is very similar to a common sidearm that issued the H&K P2000. Even though they are made by different manufacturers and shoot different rounds, it's the closest thing we can have with this class once I get a weapon license for the Scar-H, or I need to get a weapons license for the 40 Pro, which is extremely similar to the P2000 they are issued. Next is your first gadget. This should be an ammo box, which is simple and a good gadget for this class. This gadget is kind of up for grabs for you guys, but I decided to go with breaching charges, which isn't really used much, but other gadgets don't really go along with it very well. The last part of this loadout, and one that fits it most, is the gas grenade, for what should be a non-lethal takedown in real life. Now, since this is the American Border Patrol, I'm going to talk about the Border Patrol in the US, just so you guys know. An early version of the U.S. Border Patrol was founded in 1904 with a group as small as 75 men trying to stop the flow of illegal aliens coming from the Mexican border trying to sneak in to live in America. This was then expanded upon in 1924 to prevent Americans and Canadians sneaking in. But the Canadian side later had less security, and as of today, only 2,206 men patrol the Canadian side. Mexico, on the other hand, has had a lot of issues due to a struggling economy. In 1986, the borders were reinforced because of the Immigration Reform and Control Act of 1986, which was passed to stop the amount of illegal immigrants coming over. Today, 18,516 agents protect the American-Mexican border. Its goal today is to detect and prevent illegal aliens, terrorists, and terrorist weapons from entering the United States and preventing illegal trafficking of people and contraband. Okay, now let's move on to statistics. Statistically, the Scar-H is the best at almost anything but range. This rifle also has a really nice damage model, 43 max damage, and 25 damage minimum, which is a 4-shot kill at all ranges. This damage model is so impressive because of its 2-shot headshot in close quarters. However, this weapon has a much smaller effective range than most, of 610 meters, but the ranger's effective is gonna have a bad time. This gun also has a nice fire rate for its recoil and damage model of 625. This lets the recoil be controllable in mediocre-sized bursts. With this in mind, I'll mention its recoil 1.1 up, 0.2 left, and 0.3 right. That is more difficult to control when aiming at longer ranges, which is actually not recommended with this loadout since the Border Patrol tend to use weapons like these and tunnels going through the border. Officer down! That is why I'm using one of the most preferred optics, and my personal favorite, the Holocite, which has lost its popularity throughout the series, even though it's one of the most effective sights ever made for close to medium range. I think one of the bigger reasons this is accepted into real life, more than it is in video games, is that other than the circle around it, which was there to show your shots would most likely land within that range. But one feature is the dots going down to the sides, which show where the bullets will land over a certain distance. Anyways, let's get back to the Scar-H stats. There's a bullet or muzzle velocity of 410 meters per second, which is actually very disappointing, and is another reason why this weapon shouldn't be used in long range. This weapon does, though, provide a decent reload time of 2.4 seconds empty and 1.9 seconds with bullets left, which is actually better than some assault rifles, and competes with a lot of other weapons outside of the Enforcer class. Next, let's talk about the importance of Border Patrol. The use of protecting the country's border is very important to stop people from illegally crossing. Now, the two first world countries with a border that is least enforced is America and Canada, which I don't think is needed because both are first world developed countries that overall have a very similar economy and government. And I don't think somebody would want to move from one similar economy to the next. Lastly, viewers, I want you to know that this is not a reason to talk about my political beliefs in the comment section. Just keep in mind, I am saying these from cold hard facts. If you didn't like this video, don't dislike. Tell me what I did wrong in the comment section. And if you did, then give me a like. It's simple, it helps my channel. Anyways, viewers, it's been nice, and goodbye.